I recently decided to switch my web hosting from Cloudways to xCloud. Anytime you switch hosts, there's always the challenge of migrating sites from one host to another. In this video, I'm going to show you a simple process to migrate from any web host over to xCloud. I think you're going to like it. And I'm going to demonstrate the migration first, and then I'll speak a bit more about why I chose xCloud. So let me go ahead and get you into the system. All right, I am here on my xCloud dashboard, and I want to basically create a staging site here, and then we're going to migrate an existing WordPress website over from Cloudways to here. So here's how it works. We're going to start off with adding a new site. And it's going to ask us to choose a server. I only have one set up right now, so we'll click Next. And then you've got all these options over here. And this is where I was a little bit confused when I first tried this, but the answer, I think the simplest answer is to migrate an existing WordPress website rather than trying to install a new one and then restore a backup to it. I don't use Git repositories. Not that there's anything wrong. I just simply not part of my workflow. Manually uploading a WordPress website is going to take a bit more effort. And in order to migrate a full server, you'll see that it has a requirement for an Ubuntu service, which Cloudways doesn't have. So this is where we're going to start. We're going to migrate an existing website, and it's going to ask you a series of questions. So let's go ahead and do this one at a time. So we've got our destination is going to be on my Suburbia Lab server. The next thing it's going to ask me for after it verifies that server is where to go to. And there's going to be what's the existing site URL, staging or migrate to a new domain. So let's move my Suburbia Press site. And I want to put this in a staging site, not into a new domain. And the reason is it's a lot simpler. Once you put it in a staging site, then you can do a go live, and that will also update if you're using Cloudflare, your DNS. So we'll go over that a little bit later. So let's click on Next. Again, it verifies that, and it's going to give me some information over here. It's like, what's the site user? Do I want full page caching? Do I want Redis caching? Yeah, I want both of them. And as far as deploying a script, I haven't done anything with this. It'll give me some information about my database name. All this is going to be wiped out from the database name that I have that I'm migrating over anyway. So it doesn't really matter what any of these things say. I'm going to change them because they're already defined in my existing website. That was something else that was a bit of a point of confusion to me. It's like, okay, well, if you're going to change my prefix for the database tables and stuff, how do I migrate that over? Don't have to worry about it. That's one of the beauties of using a staging site first. So we'll just go ahead and create this. This is for the staging site, not necessarily what your final result is going to be. So now you've got a couple of options. You can download a zipped file. There's a plugin that they have, and it is Migration Guru, which is a well-known plugin, but they've got it where it's kind of defined just the way you want to see it. And we're going to take a look at that. So I'm going to download this zip file, and I'll just save that to my desktop. And you want to install this on your site that you're going to activate. And there's some authentication code down here, and then you're going to click here where it says that. So let's go over to Suburbia Press, and I'm going to click in my plugins to add a new plugin. I'm going to upload this plugin, and you want to use this plugin rather than looking for the one inside of the WordPress repository, because there are some differences. And this one is just going to make it very simple and easy for you. So we'll go ahead and install that. Activate the plugin. And I'll clear my cache. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go down to the xCloud migration. So like I said, it is specific to xCloud. And it's going to ask for my token here. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it in here. It's going to verify the token. And that's all I've got to do right here. So now I can come back to this side over here. I'm going to check this box that I've authenticated. We're going to click Next. Again, it's verifying. So every step of the way, it's making certain that you haven't made a mistake or screwed something up. So now you're on your database. What do you want to bring over? All database tables and corresponding file system, or only the file system, but not the database tables? If you want to stay with the database tables that were set up on the staging server, you can. I want to bring over my existing database tables because I'm migrating the site. And this would be something that I've already got it configured. It's in a number of my files. I think it's going to be best if I bring over all the database tables. So I'm going to click on next. Again, it's verifying, making sure it can talk to the other server. And now we've got all these little things to confirm. So I've got my site. This is the staging URL. It's going to make up, a fictitious name. It's got my secure stuff. It's got the PHP. I've got my caching enabled, and I'm going to use the default database in the server. And I'm going to click Start. So again, we go back and verify. And now it's going to run through this. This can take a while. So it says this may take a few moments, depends on your source server, and also how much data you have over there, how many of your files are going to have. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop talking for right now. I'm going to let this run. I'll speed it up, in the playback, and then I'll come back and show you what we have. All right, let's take a look and see what we've got. So it comes up with a little message, your site has been successfully migrated. You also get an email alert telling you that because you may not want to sit there for the whole migration. On this particular site, it took about 2 hours, 20 minutes, and I jotted down some things that it told me. So I had 1.5 gigabytes of files. My database had 270 tables with 252,000 rows thereabout. So that's why it took a little while to go. And I'm going to try and edit that down to about 10 seconds so you don't have to sit through the whole thing on a video. But that was pretty simple. And all I've got to do now is a little bit of tidy up. So I can do a magic login to look at it. And you can see that right now it doesn't have suburbiapress.com. It still has this site. If I click on this, that's what the site should look like. So I'll close that down. And let's go to the site dashboard. So it shows that wandering sea, whatever, for the domain. I need to change the domain. And I'm going to add a new one, which is actually my suburbiapress.com domain. Now, I mentioned that I would discuss Cloudflare later. So they have an option here that you can add your DNS and your SSL certificate on Cloudflare, which is optional. There is a place to manage your Cloudflare integration. I already did that in advance. Well, as soon as I set up the server, I went in and set it up, the integration with Cloudflare. The nice thing about this is that you don't then have to go into your DNS and upgrade the changes from your old server IP address to the new one. It actually does it for you. Now, let me save this. And it says domain will be updated soon. If I click verify my DNS right now, it's probably going to give me an error message or tell me that it's not there, but it happens rather quickly. And there's the failure, but that's all right. It does go ahead and do all that for you. That was a really nice treat for me. It's like I don't have to go back and forth to multiple sites. And I can come over here to staging, which this is a staging environment. And then when I'm ready, I can just click on Go Live. I'm going to give it a little bit of time before I update it so that the DNS migrates over. But that is really, in a nutshell, how simple the process is. You come over here, you set up a staging site, you download a plugin, which you install on your site on the old server. You put in a code, and then you begin the process. It takes however long it takes. Now, some of my smaller websites that only had maybe 2 or 3 pages on them and not a large database took 15 to 20 minutes. Suburbia Press has a lot more data in it. And when I get around to my photography site, I'm really afraid of how much data that's going to have. It'll probably take 3 hours or so. It depends on your server, how much data you have to migrate, how many tables and rows in your database. There are a number of factors. You don't have to sit there and watch it. You can migrate away from it. You'll just wait and you'll get an email when it's done, or you can come back to your computer every so often. This took so long that even though I was logged in as it was going through the process, as soon as I clicked the button to go look at it, I had to log into the site again because my authentication had actually timed out. All right, so why did I want to make the switch from Cloudways to xCloud? I first heard about xCloud a couple of months ago. In beginning of 2024, there was some investment in this. There's two groups that I really trust. One is WP Developer, and the other one is WP Managed Ninja. The CEO of WP Managed Ninja liked this so much, he decided to become an investor in xCloud. They were offering a limited lifetime deal. I looked at it, and I decided not to do it yet. Because it was new hosting to me, I don't know if xCloud had been running before. Some reviews suggested it was. But I wasn't familiar with it, and I wanted to wait until I heard from other people. And so far, the reviews have been really good. And also, some of the things that I heard was that even though you were running the same type of servers that you used to be able to get on Cloudways, the performance was faster. And I'm going to explain that to you. So let me show you a couple things. This is Vultr pricing. So if you're not familiar with Vultr, they are basically a service where you can get yourself cloud computing, and you've got different kind of performances. Regular performance is slower CPUs, not slow, but slower than the premium one. So high performance. This is what I was using on Cloudways. So I had a 2 virtual CPU, 4 gigabyte server, and it shows 5 terabytes of bandwidth, 100 gigabyte of storage if you bought this from Vultr for $24 a month. And you can also get this hourly. You don't have to get it for an entire month. So that's good pricing. If you look at my Cloudways pricing, you won't see Vultr on here anymore. They were bought out by this company called DigitalOcean. Now, those of us who already had Vultr pricing are grandfathered in. I could still spin up another Vultr server if I want. And it's been costing me over $60 a month for the same thing. If I got a DigitalOcean one, which is what a new subscriber would get for the same thing, 4 gigabyte, 2 core, not as much storage, 80 gigabytes instead of 100 gigabytes, and not as much bandwidth, 4 terabytes instead of 5, that's $54 a month. And that is roughly the equivalent that you would see. That's on premium. If you went to standard, the 4 gigabyte, 2 core would be a little bit less at $46 a month. So for some reason, when DigitalOcean took over, they jacked up the prices, and they jacked up the Vultr servers more so than their own DigitalOcean servers. If I look over here on xCloud, they have a couple of plans. So standard, we talked about on looking at Vultr server and on Cloudways, and growing, which is their premium one. So I selected a 4 gigabyte RAM server, which you see instead of 80 or 100 gigs of storage, it is 128. And this NVMe, that is a faster version of solid state drive. So it's non-volatile memory, something or other. And that is faster RAM, which is why I prefer the premium version for a few bucks more. 2 virtual CPUs, and you can see over here, it tells you that you're getting 3 gigahertz Intel Xeon CPUs, 3 terabytes of bandwidth. So not as much bandwidth, but unlimited sites. And that's for $30 a month. I was paying over $60 a month on Cloudways, and I can cut that almost more than half on this site. Now you can do something else. You can manage your own server. So let's say that you just wanted to bring over a server from Vultr. You could come over here, pick whichever one you want, and then just use the panel on here to migrate things over. I didn't choose to do that. I prefer to just let it provision everything for me. It was a few bucks more, and I thought, $4 more a month for something that's simple and easy to use is, in my case, better. So you can do this in a couple of ways. I preferred the managed server. So if we look down at a 1 gigabyte server, $5 a month, or $7.50 for a premium version. 2 gigabyte server, $12 a month, or $20 a month. Keep in mind, you're getting a lot more resources here on this than you would get for shared hosting. You'll pay a lot more, like on WP Engine or some of the other sites, and they'll put more drastic limitations on you. I think this is a better way to go. But on the other hand, there are some things about managing your own site that maybe you don't want to do, and that's why those other shared hosting services exist. In my case, I am looking at developing websites for clients and also doing hosting and maintenance for them. So let's say I've got a small business that maybe only needs a 1 gigabyte or 2 gigabyte server, and I put them on here, and it costs me at most $20 a month to host that. But my fee for monthly hosting and maintenance is probably going to be around $125. So I'm covering my costs for their hosting. I'm getting them better hosting than they would get on a shared hosting plan anywhere else. And also, I put each one on their own server. So that way, if there is a problem with one client, it will not affect the clients on their own server. They're not bundled together. So somebody's not going to be consuming too many resources. There's not going to be malware for one client that infects other clients. Each of these are their own separate environments. So that's the way I look at it. And I thought this was a nice way to do things. There's another factor about this is if we come over here to Cloudways, they are using kind of outdated software. They're using Apache for their web server. If we come over here to xCloud, when you create a server, you have a couple of choices. So let me see if I can't spin one up, or at least start to spin one up. So I'll come over here to all servers. I'll come up with a new server, and you see the options. I've got Vultr. You could also do DigitalOcean, Google Cloud, any other server, Hetzner. These are the ones if you're going to bring and manage your own server. If you want something managed by xCloud, which is what I chose, and that is, it seems to be the Vultr server, you can start there and you can click on whether you want Pro or whatever. Let's go ahead and click on this. And then you can put in your server name, any tags to help you organize them. Do you want the general or standard and cost-effective servers? And still Intel CPUs, regular SSDs, or premium, and you can see the prices change. You can choose your location. You can choose which continent. So I'm looking obviously at North America because that's where I am. You can choose your database type, whether you want backups. That costs you a little bit extra. But this is what really interested me. Instead of Apache, you've got a choice between Nginx or OpenLightspeed. In my case, I chose OpenLightspeed. It is a much faster operating system and platform for your website. And honestly, so is Nginx. OpenLightspeed is a little bit faster than Nginx, but I think they're both pretty close to each other. But both of them are faster than Apache. So if you look at this, let's say I selected Atlanta, and I've got a light server. I could change this around to a different type or size. And the growing one, which is what I chose on premium, was $30 a month. You can get some pretty big ones. The biggest one they've got is 32 gigs of RAM, and that's $200 a month. I don't need that for what I'm doing. That is pretty much, in a nutshell, why I decided to make the migration from Cloudways over to xCloud. If you're interested in this, I've got a link in the description below. It is suburbiapress.com/xCloud. And that will give you access to this. I think it's definitely worth taking a look. And let me know in the comments below. Are you happy with your current service provider? What kind of fees are you paying? What kind of resources are you getting? The thing I like about a virtual private server, whether it was on Cloudways or here on xCloud, is that you know what resources you have. A lot of shared computing or platform hosting doesn't tell you how much RAM you get. They didn't tell you how much of a CPU you get. They don't necessarily tell you where you're being hosted or located. So you've got more precision when you're going with a VPS. And I'm finding this to be much faster and much more cost effective. So I hope that is helpful to you. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a like. Let me know in the comments below what's your hosting situation. And I will see you again in the next video.